This guy owns a home at the bottom of the hill. I told Jeff, and I was like, yo, I really think that you should get a flood policy here. 8 months later, we had, what are they called? Atmospheric rains.
Yeah.
And he calls me. He's like, dude, Nick, I am having water that's coming into my house from the outside. He sent me a video. He FaceTimed me while it was happening. I was like, holy shit, there's your flood insurance, man. There it is. His policy was 2,500 bucks and he got paid out 100 grand. So,
Wow.
so I'm just saying, like, remember, if you live anywhere on the side of a mountain or a hill or anything like that, in most of the time, flood insurance for most homes, his policy was 2,500 bucks and he got paid out 100 grand. So,
Wow.
so I'm just saying, like, remember, if you live anywhere on the side of a mountain or a hill or anything like that, in most of the time, flood insurance for most homes is going to be $500-$600 or less per year. Like, come on,
Oh,
just do
wow.
it. Just do it.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen Knapp, and I'm here with Nick Ramirez, who is an agency owner in Los Angeles of Goosehead Insurance. So we're going to get into everything insurance, and I'm excited. Thank you for
Let's
being
do
here,
it.
Nick.
I promise to make this insurance conversation light, tight, and bright.
Perfect. Just how everyone would like it to be. Perfect.
Exactly. No sleeping here. We're gonna have fun with it. So thank you so much for having me on the podcast. This is really exciting. And yeah, I'm here to answer all your questions. What do you got? Hit me.
Well, let's just start at the beginning. Like, how did you get into this industry, and what's your experience in it?
Well, I joke, right? My degree is cinema, television arts, and I've been an insurance broker for almost 10 years. So you can see how well that went. Not so great, but I've been in the business for 10 years. I fell into it. Someone recruited me. They tried to get me to go to State Farm, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And they're like, well, what about a broker? And I was like, that sounds cooler. Let's go that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I never looked back, and I'm really happy that I did. So it's been a crazy trip. I have 5 sales agents on staff now, and I have an office manager. We're based here in Culver City, and but we write insurance home. So what do we write? What do we do? Right? We write home, auto, flood, earthquake, umbrella. We're really big on life insurance and helping investors with that, and pretty much all that stuff for the state of California and Nevada.
Awesome. So you're kind of like a one-stop shop.
That's it. You got it right.
And what's kind of the benefit to going with someone of your size rather than like the Costcos and the Geicos of the world?
Well, we're not a call center, right? So like if you're looking for a little bit more personalized experience, you want to have a relationship with your broker, especially if you're a real estate investor or someone like that, and you're constantly touching different deals and flips and stuff like that. Having a relationship with an insurance broker who understands the product, who understands that there's a sense of urgency, and understanding how to write a policy correctly with the lowest competitive price is really important. And so that's kind of where we come into play.
Yeah, nice. And it's good to have a relationship with people, more of a one-on-one relationship.
Yeah, I mean, look, some people don't give a damn about insurance, right? And that's okay. That's not a problem. If you don't, bye, Felicia, you go that way. That's cool. But then there are a lot of people that really take pride in that really focus on their business, and they want to know that, A players know A players, right? And you want to make sure that everyone on your team is there that knows what they're doing, right? And so what I refer to is like having your aces in their places. And so that's definitely a thing. So I consider myself an ace. And if you look online on my reviews and how long I've been in business and all the people that we already work with, they'll probably say the same. So that would be a reason why you would want to work with an actual broker.
Yeah, yeah. And if you look up Nick, he's in Wall Street Journal, he's in Fortune, he's got all these articles. How did you land those?
Well, my background in media and PR,
Yeah, there we go.
so it actually came into play.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
But yeah, and most recently, I had a conversation with ABC News Australia, and they reached out because they had a whole bunch of questions about wildfires. Because in Australia they have wildfires, and I did a Zoom call with them in January during the Palisades fire. So, but yeah, lots of different press hits, and but yeah, happy to be of service to the press people too if they have questions about things.
Well, let's touch on that a little bit. I mean, I know fires, definitely in California, there's a lot of vulnerable areas.
Yeah.
And it's not just, it's not just in California. Fires happen everywhere. What are some, mistakes people make? Like, tell us about how to even get insured in these fire-prone areas.
So there's a lot of different ways. It really just depends on what is your attitude towards insurance, what's your budget, what's going on there. So it's multi-layered, but it depends on where you are. I had another client who actually owns a 9,000 square foot home in the Palisades. Their house didn't burn down. It was like one of like 10 that didn't, and they're at the top of the hill. And so the rebuild value for that 9,000 square foot home is probably like $9 million, right? So we had to create a solution for them that made sense both financially and coverage wise, and we were just able to execute that like I don't know, this past week. So ultimately, it just depends on how big the property is, who's living there, and all that other stuff. So there's a lot of kind of variables that go into understanding how to get the right thing, but that's kind of like that's our secret sauce, right? Trying to help
Yeah.
people navigate that.
Yeah, because I always hear about areas that can't even get insurance because there's so many fires.
That's not true. Like I have people come to me all the time, Kristen, and they'll be like, especially like real estate agents before they open escrow or something like, Nick, can we even is this even insurable? Right? Kind of thing. And the answer is like, yeah, always. The answer is yes. What that price is going to look like, right? And what kind of claims experience you might have if there's a problem, might be a little rough, right?
Mhm.
But ultimately though, like if the home is like less than, like for normal investors, and we're talking 5,000 square feet property, 5,000 or less, you should be able to have no issues getting insurance, no matter how no matter how high fire risk that is. Look, the California does also have the California Fair Plan, which a lot of people know about. If you haven't heard of it before, especially for the investors, sometimes the investors they invest in properties that are like up in the mountains, and then they are shocked at why the insurance costs so high. It's like, well, you're flipping a property in an area that's already considered very high fire risk, right?
Yeah.
And so these are things that you want to, and what we encourage any investors who are watching this, who are thinking about doing a flip or a flip and hold or a flip and sell, whatever it may be, to like hit us up and say, give us the address and be like, hey, what do you think about this home? Do you think it's going to be expensive? Not, what do you think that's going to look like? And we can always kind of guide folks out. But look, if the home is 5,000 square feet or less, generally insurance is not a problem,
Yeah.
right? It's when you get over 5 is when the numbers really start to be moving. Like, someone who is buying a 7,000 square foot home, of course, price is always going to be a thing, but price is less of a thing because if you're able to buy a home that is that big, that's like complaining about gas when you buy a Bentley,
Yeah.
like it just comes with it. There's going to be a premium. And some folks, if you're wealthy enough, they just self-insure. We don't see a lot of that, but there are people that just decide to forego it. If they don't have a mortgage, then you just take the full risk on your own. But again, that's really rare that we see that.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And that would apply to kind of all natural disasters like earthquakes, hurricanes, stuff like that.
Yep. So your standard homeowners policy covers fire, wind, hail, lightning, smoke, the weight of freezing ice, aircrafts, explosions, water damage, theft, liability. Can you tell I've said these things a few times? But what's not covered under standard policies, right? So we live in California. What is it?
Wait, what?
Earthquake,
Oh,
earthquake,
yeah.
earthquake.
I didn't
And
know
then the
where
other
you were
one,
going with
yeah,
that.
for sure. So earthquake is always separate.
Yeah.
With what just happened in fucking Russia. Sorry, if you need to bleep that out, go
Yeah.
for it. That's what happens when you're entertainment, right? But Russia 8.8, right? So we had a slew of people. Even today, they're calling in and saying, "Hey, do I have earthquake?" We're like, "Yeah, no. Remember, we told you, and you didn't." And they're like, "Well, can we have it now?" It's like, "Yeah, the market's still open, right?"
Mhm.
But so earthquake is always separate, and then flood. Funny thing about flood: flood is water damage from the outside that comes in the home, not a pipe breaking on the inside. Pipe break on the inside is just considered water damage.
Mm.
Though people always say, "Oh, Nick, I'm having a flood in my house." I'm like, that's not possible. You're having water damage. They're different. So flood is water from the outside. If you live, and this is really important for investors, homeowners, everybody, if you live or own a home or a property that's on the side of a mountain or a hill, like towards the bottom, right? Anywhere other than the very top. But if you're here, and you're at the bottom of an incline, get a flood policy, right? I
Right.
had a client in Studio City. Studio City. Have you heard of that place before? Studio
Hmm.
City? A lot of people have, right? This guy owns a home at the bottom of the hill. And I told Jeff, and I was like, yo, I really think that you should get a flood policy here. And this is not me trying to sell you shit that you don't need, right? But I was like, look, man, I think you should do it. And he did. And he got a flood policy. 8 months later, we had, what are they called? Atmospheric rains?
Oh,
Atmospheric rain stuff, right?
right.
Didn't have that in college. Didn't have that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now we do.
Yeah.
And he calls me. He's like, dude, Nick, I am having water that's coming into my house from the outside. He sent me a video. He FaceTimed me while it was happening. I was like, holy shit, there's your flood insurance, man. There it is. Got paid
Wow.
out 100 grand. His policy was 2,500 bucks and he got paid out 100 grand. So,
Wow.
so I'm just saying, like, remember, if you live anywhere on the side of a mountain or a hill or anything like that, and most of the time, flood insurance for most homes is going to be $500-$600 or less per year. Like, come
Mm.
on,
Oh,
just do
wow.
it. Just do it.
Do you think everybody should have it or people on a slope mostly?
More slopes.
Yeah.
More slopes. Also, though, people who live close to the coastline.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Right. So like, if you're buying a home and you're like Marina Del Rey, for example, or something like that, right? Or Venice,
Hmm.
or Santa Monica, again, close to the water. Uh, I don't know, like if the cost is low enough, it's peace of mind, Kristen. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just like, look, I hope you never use it, right? But that's what insurance is for. It's like,
Yeah.
if in the event that it does happen, that you don't have to go through the financial hardship and the disaster of having to deal with it all on your own. Does that make
Right.
sense? Yeah.
Totally.
Yep.
Are there anything like any add-ons that people forget about like that? Like that's very interesting. I think that's really good information for
That's
people.
the biggest one for property is to home or dwelling, which is if you live in it, it's homeowners. If you invest, it's a renter that lives there, a tenant. Then it's called a dwelling policy. So those things are fire and liability, so you're all good. And then there's flood and earthquake. Those are the biggest ones. And then other things like if you're like, now we can talk maybe for builders risk, people that are actually renovating, right?
Hmm.
Maybe for a moment. So
Right.
renovations. So there's different tiers of renovations, right? There's what my friends, some of my investors call like lipstick on a pig, where they're going to do $50,000 worth of renovations and they'll be done in 2 months, really easy. Okay, that's the lowest kind of tier risk thing. That's fine. If you're going to be doing like $250,000 worth of a budget where you're gutting the interior, bringing down to the studs on the inside.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, that's more risk. That's builder's risk, and that's going to have a higher premium, right?
Mhm.
And then I have other investors that where they have budgets of multi-million or more, where they're taking a single family home or a single story, and then they're adding another story on top of it.
Yeah.
That type of stuff, those command higher premiums too, because the risk is higher in the event of something catastrophically going wrong with like a fire. You could even
Right.
have like someone get hurt. What if you were walking by the neighborhood and then like 2x4 fell off the thing and hit this person on the head as they're walking?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like there are things that can happen. And I feel like sometimes, like, you know what it is? It's stranger than whatever it is. Random things happen in real life that are stranger than fiction, you know?
Right.
And so you want to make sure that you're getting the right liability coverage specifically for builder's risk if you're going to be doing some heavy renovations, stuff like that.
And when you get this liability insurance, like at what point can you change it or scale back?
When the reno is done.
Yeah. So there's
So
not
like
like a
once the
time
project is
period.
completed, that's basically when you would either terminate the policy, right? That's probably the
Mhm.
best time to do it. But it's really also important to know that when you're renovating, right, and you have like contractors that are helping you with things, you need to make sure that the people that you're bringing onto your job, right, the roofer, the plumber, the electrician, or the GC who does the subs, right? You want to make sure all those people have their own insurance and are providing you, the homeowner or the investor, a copy of their insurance
Right.
and listing you as an additional insured on their certificate. And the reason why is because if they're culpable for something, and here's the thing, lawyers, right? Because lawyers, right? Lawyers, when they sue people, and if anyone who's watching this will testify and they'll tell you, but when lawyers sue, who do they sue? They sue everybody. They're going
Mm.
to sue the everyone gets named
Yeah.
in a lawsuit. If you haven't seen a lawsuit before, the defendants that are there, it's a long list, right? And they're going to be
Mhm.
like, Kristen, this LLC, Nick, Eric, Jenny, you're going to list everybody. And that's just how it goes. And so it's important to make sure that in the event that something happens where you feel like as the homeowner that you weren't culpable for this, like it wasn't your responsibility,
Mhm.
that you can protect yourself against that problem by being added on their insurance in the event that they're found responsible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, just more protection.
Protection, yeah, right protection. And look, sometimes it costs money to do it, but like, trust me, anyone who's gone through a lawsuit or anything like that, they'll tell you, dude, it's money well spent, you know,
Yeah.
to not have to have these types of problems, because when lawsuits occur, they take years and
Mhm.
they're extremely expensive.
Yeah.
And so it's ideally not like best to avoid that whole thing.
Yeah, and I think people probably get a little overwhelmed with insurance or kind of don't want to deal with it, so they just pick any policy and they're not really protected.
Yeah, like for example, like it just happened the other day. This guy purchased a AAA home insurance policy, right? And then is gonna go in through like 6 months of renovations. I told him, I was like, you're doing this Mickey Mouse, right? This is a Mickey Mouse thing you're doing. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, anyone who knows what I mean by that, it's a fugazi. Like you're doing it wrong. And if you have a fire because, I don't know, a contractor flicked a cigarette, I don't even know, right?
Yeah.
Any type of problem, while that home was vacant under reno, AAA thinks that it's an owner occupied house, right? That's the policy you got. So
Mm.
in the event of a claim, the adjuster's going to come out, there's going to be an investigation. And they're going to be like, what happened? Oh, it was under renovation, claim denied,
Wow.
right? And I told him that. I'm like, what, why? But we explained very clearly, like home insurance, owner occupied insurance. And here's another thing. People who are buying homes, right? This happens all the time. So for anyone who's going to buy a house and they're in escrow and they're thinking, okay, we're going to buy this home and then we're going to go right into renovation for like, 3 to 6 months or longer, right? Don't buy a homeowner's policy for that scenario. Don't do it,
Yeah.
right? Because that in this market in California, 90% of policies that are written for home insurance, there's going to be an inspection. They're going to look at the effective date. So say we started the policy today, that in 30 days, someone's going to visit that property on site and they're going to look around and they're going to see if this place is like under renovation or not. If it's under renovation, they're going to cancel it, dude. They're going to cancel it,
Wow.
right? And it's because you're securing the wrong policy with the wrong risk. It's not the same. So it's important to always disclose to your agent broker if you're going to get a home, let us know. And it's okay because then we'll create a solution for you. We're like, look, dude, go over here. This policy is great. It's a slightly higher deductible, but it lets you do the renovations you need to. When you're done, you've moved in, holler, let me know, and we'll rewrite you to a homeowner's policy because now you're living there full time. Does that make sense? So that's the better way to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can totally see how the liability is just so different, whether you're doing renovations, whether you're, doing Airbnbs too. Like there's a lot involved.
Yeah. And there's like, and here's the thing, like when we have clients and investors, some investors, they say, well, look, this is my house, but I also Airbnb it. So is there a policy that I can get that does both those things? The answer is yes, there is. We have an insurance carrier that specifically writes policies specifically for that. So if you are going to do Airbnb and you also live there part-time, right, kind of thing, or VRBO, and you need a policy that covers that type of blend of risk, we have carriers that write that type of stuff. So it's just all you got to do is disclose it. And I'll tell you something, when you work with a broker, just like your dentist or lawyer, just be straight with us.
Yeah.
Because when you tell your dentist that you floss, they know you're lying, right? They know you're lying. They're like, dude, well, for those people who are saying that, but you get my point. So for us with brokers, just be like, look, this is what I'm doing. This is how it's going to go. Here's the budget. Here's how long it's going to take. Or I live here, but I also Airbnb it. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. Better to just be straight. That way, in the event of a problem, you don't have to fight with the insurance company.
Right.
Because guess what, Kristen? Who do you think has more money to fight in a lawsuit?
Probably them. Yeah.
They do, right? And you won't be able to hang, trust, So better just to come clean, just be straight.
Well, it sounds like, I mean, for every problem, there are solutions for the most part. And I can totally see the benefit of working with a company like yours and people like you, where you can really fine tune what you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about creating custom solutions for every single. That's actually what's interesting about being an insurance broker is that every scenario presents slightly different risks, and we got to be able to be like, all right, cool. And if there is exposure, we can say, look, this is covered, this one here, but theft of building materials is not. And we'll tell you, right? So that way, if you leave 50 grand worth of marble on the home and it gets stolen, like it should never be a surprise. There should be no surprises.
And it sounds like you've probably seen a lot. So you know a lot of the scenarios to plan for.
I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I've seen it all. I've seen a lot of different claims. I've seen good, bad, and ugly. But ultimately, but look, as brokers, we're here we're an advocate, right? In the event of a problem and when it does happen, I go to bat for our clients and every agent here, Annie, Josh, Justin, Patrick, all the people that work in my office as sales agents. If there's a problem and you're not getting taken care of by the adjuster, then we step up and we say, hey, what's going on? What's the holdup? What's the disconnect here? And we try to really move things along and be that independent advocate for you. And that's a big reason why a lot of people like using brokers versus the farmers or the state farms, because with those guys, they only have one product. They only have one thing to sell you.
Yeah.
So they're going to just do their best to sell that one thing. For us, we have a lot of product, and for us, we're just trying to do what's always best for the client.
Amazing. Well, where can people find you?
Yeah, NickRamirezAgent.com would be one. That would probably be the easiest one that I would direct them to. And NickRamirezAgent.com there's a host of ways to contact me there. And there's my contact information, everything. I think that's probably the easiest place to find me.
Amazing.
And then,
Well, everyone...
and then also on Instagram, sorry, since I found you guys on Instagram, also my handle is Nick Ramirez Agent. Feel free to follow, say hi. Would love to hear if you watch this, you learned anything, tag me and say hi.
Well, I learned a lot from this. So this was very educational for me.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you had me on, and as fate would have it, I look forward to maybe doing another one of these in the future.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. And everyone, thank you for listening, and we'll see you back next time.
Next time.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.